Okay, Doctor Who Flux, Chapter 5, Survivors of the Flux. This was not as good as last week. I think we can both agree on that. I still liked it. We were doing the rankings from last time. I would probably put this third. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, probably. But, like, by a big thing.
This, once again, had a lot of stuff going on. But I think it definitely, balanced it. Or maybe just the material was more interesting than, say, Once Upon a Time, for example. We learned a lot of information about Division. So the Flux was created by the Division basically to hunt down the Doctor.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's interesting. The big reason that I'm, not so sure about that is because how it affects, Swarm and Azor. Did they explain, what their plan was?
They just want revenge on Division, I think, for imprisoning them.
That's so stupid. That's just so stupid. They were the main villains for the first, 4 episodes. Then we just go, I just want revenge. What does that even mean?
That would be a massive letdown.
They were cool.
They might do something else with them in the finale. We don't know.
Alright, whatever. Tecteun was here and back. I like her. When that was revealed, I fell off my couch.
Really? You were that shocked by that reveal? I saw that coming.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
Don't
I did.
lie.
Not instantly, but I saw that coming. Yaz and Dan are in 1904, and they're traveling the world trying to decipher this pot that is supposed to be some sort of prophecy. The Doctor explains in this hologram thing that she knew this would happen because it's sending ripples through time. People figured it out or something. But then they kind of end up abandoning that idea. And they go to this hilarious, monk guy in Nepal or whatever. They eventually end up meeting the tunnel guy who we saw originally in the first episode. It seems kind of weird that they started with this whole prophecy thing and they ended up, abandoning that mission almost, it's what it seemed like. But there were some really good character moments that were kind of shoved in there with Jazz watching the Doctor's message and stuff and Dan comforting her. Also, there seemed to be people that were trying to assassinate him. There was that waiter guy and he tried to kill him.
You know in War of the Centaurans when the Doctor was just waking up and she saw that house?
Yes.
What's that house?
I know that there's the whole thing with the snake tattoo that the Grand Serpent had. The third Doctor, I'm pretty sure, had that tattoo of a snake on his wrist.
Really?
I don't know, I might be wrong. But I'm pretty sure he had that tattoo of a snake on his wrist.
Next week is the series finale, right? The thing with this episode is I think it left too much to the series finale.
Well, yes, that's very much true. There's a lot of unanswered questions still. Yeah. And now, just a lot of plot lines going on.
Yeah, and now, the Centaurans are back, and then there are, tunnels, and the Grand Serpent, and Unit. Is Kate gonna be back? Kate better be back.
Yeah, Kate's in the next time trailer.
Alright, good.
The Grand Serpent, we still don't really know who he is. We saw him in those flashbacks with Vinder. He is hijacking Unit by jumping in throughout history, killing the people in charge, and taking over and working up the ranks.
The Grand Serpent has a worm thing that can go in people and kill them.
I don't think it's a worm thing. I think it's a serpent thing. A grand serpent.
Pretty sure it's I'm pretty sure it's a worm, Griffin. Trust me. I know about worms.
Kate Stewart stops him. She figures out what's going on. But then not really, because he sabotages her doorknob. So it seemed like he was doing all of that just to let the Sontarans invade. By the way, awesome job by Chris Chibnall. He set that up way back in Resolution. We got to see the whole beginning of Unit. You have not seen any of the Third Doctor's era, right?
No.
I've watched most of the Third Doctor's era, so I've seen a lot of Unit. So that was cool to see the origins of it and all that.
Very unrelated question, but who's your favorite character so far?
The guy from Nepal, the hermit, is my favorite character of the whole season.
I like Carvanista. You know who else I like? I like Belle and Vinder. This is everyone's favorite part of these things, in which I talk about what happened with them. There was this moment where Vinder was going into this castle place.
Not really castle place.
It was a place. And then Belle was flying up to it. And then Carvanista what's it called? Hyperspace her away.
Hyperjack.
Yes. That I don't think Carvanista is allowed to be my favorite character anymore after what he did.
Vinder got absorbed by the passenger. Vinder's gonna die. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
I don't want Vinder to die. I want Vinder and Belle and the baby to live a happy life together. I cannot have one of them die. I think I would rather the show end than have one of them die.
You know what I want to see happen? I want to see there be some like crazy twist that has everything together. It seems like there's so much going on right now. I want there to be some sort of like shocking moment that just instantly makes everything click, which is a lot to ask for, but there's just so many loose ends right now. I'm gonna be so disappointed if the episode next week ends and I still have like tons of questions. There can be like one or two dangling things that carry on into the 3 specials or whatever that are coming next year. But I want this to be wrapped up. It's called Doctor Who Flux. It's supposed to be one story. This episode suffers from the same kind of problem that episode 1, episode 3 suffered from. It's hard to get as invested in any one story when there's that much going on. That's why I think at the end of the season, War of the Centaurs and Village of the Angels are like, so far they're the ones standing out, which is just interesting in like a season that's supposed to be about one big epic overarching story, that the 2 like most standalone episodes are the ones that are working the best, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The finale is next week. This episode did a really good job of setting that up, I would say. Did its job.
I think it set too much up. We've said that already.
Well, all this stuff was out there. All these threads and stuff were there. It just kind of gathered together, and hopefully they can wrap as much of it up and give us enough satisfying answers. Kernan, do you have any weird way you'd like to end this video?
I can think of one. We hope you enjoyed, right, Griffin?
Yes.
Yes. So, if you did, subscribe, and if you don't subscribe, then the Grand Serpent's worm thing is gonna appear inside of you. It's a worm.
Oh, go
It's
watch Kernan's solo review of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
It's a worm.